able to get the map, you can double click on the token in the top right of your character sheet or on the combat tracker, or an alternative option is to wait about 45 seconds and I will share aforementioned map. Load Natasha's character into the game, since she's taking care of all that for me. There we go. Be a short lag there. There we go. So this is where we left off. Everybody should have that map once everybody gets loaded in. So the situation is as such. While exploring the temple, you fell into the ancient Aztecian temple. You discovered quite a bit, but as you were making your way towards the exit, on the stairs up, there was a long staircase up, and along the way, you found a secret door, and in that secret door, you found this map. There was some exploring, some undead, various things. There was a battle with a Banshee and some Spectres. It didn't go too awful, to be honest, except for the Banshee part.
It's saying like 23 parts, we finally got our first party member killed.
So the Banshee, if you don't know about a Banshee, let me tell you about a Banshee. If you've never actually fought a Banshee in D&D, they have this glorious ability called Wail. And you get a saving throw, and if you fail the saving throw, your hit points drop to 0.
What?
And if you pass the saving throw, you take a little damage. So what happened was, Smoke decided to sneak ahead on his own into the room everyone's in now. Found an invisible chest marked in purple. Everybody else was staying back. When Smoke started touching things, the Banshee came out, as well as some Spectres popping out of the sarcophagi. If you follow that dotted line up one room, that sarcophagi marked in a 10-foot cube slid back into the wall, revealing that passage. You guys were still in that room with the sarcophagi. Some Spectres popped out. The party was fighting the Spectres, diligently doing a very good job, I will say. What they were unaware of is Smoke failed to save. Dropped to 0 hit points in the room with the Banshee alone. At which point, the aforementioned Banshee took her next turn to continue to attack the downed Smoke until she killed him.
Whoa.
I guess you could say Smoke got smoked.
And then she used her incorporeal movement to come through the wall, and she used her incorporeal movement to come through the wall and attack the rest of you. But because she was already weakened, you guys were able to cut her down fairly quickly. And now, the part that threw everyone off was after you killed her and went to find your companion, you found Smoke. Except instead of Smoke's body, you found this in its place. Upon dying, it shifted back into this form. And that's where we ended the last game. Speculation was off-put until the whole party could be here.
Oh, snap.
It's fine.
Speculation is now authorized. Game begin.
Right. So, was your friend always this blue?
No.
don't believe so.
I'm just kind of staring down at the body, just completely in shock. I'm like thinking, was our friend really our friend at this point? After all?
So, you didn't know that it could do that?
No.
Mm,
This is news
Nope.
to all of us.
Did anybody else notice that he was acting strange after that one room, though? That he went in alone with the firewall?
I didn't
Other
know.
than Dronga?
I mean, to be fair, this is Agile we're talking about. He always acted strange.
That's fair, but he was very adamant that we didn't go in that room.
That's a good point. You think we should head back?
I think it's worth a check, but I don't know.
Alright, if you say so.
I say I'd like to go ahead and investigate because I don't know if that something happened to our friend, if he got body snatched or what.
When his is he still wearing like Smoke's clothes, or did his whole form just
No,
turn to that blue
he's
shape?
not wearing Smoke's clothes. He is completely naked. Whatever clothes he was wearing were apparently part of the shape-shifting.
Okay.
Alright, well, I guess I could lead the way, or...
Hold up. Before we head out, did anyone else hear any sort of like incorporeal, ethereal voice like speaking out that was in this general vicinity?
I heard it.
Did I hear it?
I don't know.
There was a point where everyone heard a soft voice in their head, but it was so faint for most of you that you didn't quite recognize what it was or what was being said. I will repost it.
Well, I definitely think it's worth. Yeah, okay. I think it's definitely worth going back to that room.
This voice is coming from in this room only. This room
Oh.
was the first place you heard that voice.
Okay.
Okay.
So, just a quick recap in terms of description of this room. This area, you have this sarcophagi, which is substantially nicer than all of the other ones. There are murals on the wall painted with rich pigments. There are inlays with semi-precious stones. The sarcophagus is gilded with gold, and it's sitting atop a stone bier. It's along the west wall here. The north-south is a bit odd. It's along the north wall here. You have an invisible chest. You guys actually found an invisible stone chest resting at the foot of the sarcophagi. And that was all you've managed to see so far, because when it was touched, the Banshee came out.
So no one's checked the chest since, and the sarcophagus is closed.
Correct. I
Okay.
will say this. This is something we didn't do. There is the ability to attempt to loot and try and recover some various things from a Banshee, if that's something you guys do desire to do. Because we didn't cover it last time, I don't want you guys to think, oh, we already took care of it. If you want to, try to harvest creatures.
Could be useful. While someone else is checking out the ye old sarcophagus trap and ye old
I was about to say,
totally safe chest.
Dronga's got the sarcophagus. Yeah.
I was about to say, actually safe to touch this thing, because last time someone messed with it, we got attacked by a Banshee, so... Curiosity killed one cat already, so...
Literally.
But well, I'll start lifting up the lid.
I'll help.
Kosjurkis will start gathering up Banshee ectoplasm. I don't know what kind of remains they leave.
I apologize. I missed that. I stepped down to get a drink.
No problem. Just I think Dronga and Rolen were gonna be opening the sarcophagus, and Kosjurkis is gonna be looting the Banshee.
Looting the Banshee is a religion check, DC 14, 3 of them.
Gotcha. I'll just roll those in the background. Oh my god, I have really good religion. Being smart is so great. Yep.
Ooh.
Yep, that tracks.
Ooh.
All right.
So you did manage to come away with one thing, and it is, let's see here, let me throw it right here. When you're harvesting the glorious Banshee, it is a amount of dust left over called phantom dust.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it does for your reading purposes.
You just gave me pocket sand.
Everybody likes a little pocket sand. In the sarcophagi is what you're opening. You find a dead, very well preserved corpse, and in its hands, you find this.
Oh,
Hell yeah!
oh shit.
The one thing that Agile was looking for from the very beginning.
Ow. So we should definitely still go back to the other room.
Yeah. Just to ensure that he's still
Just to
alive.
check that he's not rolling
Yeah.
over in his grave somewhere.
Is the blade lit up?
The blade is not. The handle is. The blade requires attunement, which takes an hour, and it is also not identified.
Hmm.
Well, who would like to hang on to the sword hilt?
Oh,
No.
please.
Oh, come on. He just wants to hold it.
All right, fine.
Ah,
Don't lose it.
okay.
It's for your buddy.
Yes.
Okay.
I'll walk over and pat Kosjurkis on the head with like a heavy hand and be like, "Good little fella."
Yes. Okay.
Okay.
I'm serious. Don't lose it.
If you say so.
Little is
So you
good.
gave
Good
his
is
life
arguable.
quest to the. So you gave his the source of his life quest to the Kobold.
Yep.
If he wasn't rolling in his grave, he sure the fuck is not.
Who is now swinging it around with great abandon.
I'm just
Not
gonna like
abandoned.
In
I want to
spite of
point
there
out
being
he
no
didn't swing it
blade.
around with abandon. He swung it around with great abandon.
Yes. If there was a blade coming out of this hilt, it would probably go very poorly for everyone, including him.
Say, I'm just gonna take a good step back. Like, yeah, there's no blade visible, but I'm not taking any chances.
Might 9-year-old sword with a lightsaber.
Oh, you're really breaking up there, Tony.
Yeah. Oof.
See, I'm really excited for us to turn this thing on, because if it's what I think it is, it's going to be really fun for Kosjurkis to be near it.
Okay, so other than that, it is worth mentioning there is quite a bit of, like I said, the tomb is carved, inlaid, not just painted. Like it's actually they carved it into the walls, and the eyes of some of the figures they have various semi-precious stones. There's gold inlaid in some of the robes. The top of the sarcophagi has gold filigree,
Oh,
and
for
there
sure.
is an empty chest as well. I'm sorry, an invisible chest.
He already said it's empty. It's good. Don't have to check it now.
I'm gonna use my axe to like pry up the gems and stuff, stick them in my pocket.
Nice. Oh, sorry. You go ahead.
No, go ahead. I'm done. I was just talking to myself.
I was just wondering. So yeah, I want to add Dawnbringer to my inventory. It's not the longsword hilt, I imagine. I think we got that from somewhere else.
I think it's in there already, labeled sword or some
Oh,
magical sword, something fancy.
There's just longsword hilt.
All right, that's probably it.
That's
I
probably
assume
it.
that's it. Yeah.
Boom.
I should not have given that to you.
turning that down.
Dronga fully supports because she has no idea what he's capable.
The safest response. Probably just let the kobold have it.
Seems fair.
Okay.
Well,
What now?
Are you guys done looting?
yeah, if I've got all those gems and like inlays and whatnot.
Let's go back. Try to find our friend.
Okay.
Wherever that is. I'm assuming it's this way.
So, as for the loot, I'm going to go ahead and put all the loot you get from, I don't know, a nice way to say grave robbery. What about the chest? Did you guys open the chest? I want to know what to get put on here.
Uh-oh.
I didn't. I'm not touching that chest.
Okay. Thin gold filigree is listed on there, and out of all the eyes, you've managed to get 11 zircons. Once you've peeled off all the gold sheathing and stuff.
Ooh, that's a cool looking stone.
So, is anybody else doing anything in this room?
Other than lightly prodding the dead doppelganger. Not really.
Fair enough.
Lightly prodding.
Lightly prodding. Not just
Yeah.
prodding, lightly prodding. Not
With
abandon.
with the sword hilt.
With great abandon?
Great abandon.
Yes, of course. Everything he does is reckless.
So, for the interest of saving time, and because you've already traveled most of the way and cleared it, we can skip the actual maps, and you can just let me know where it is you are intending to travel to.
Well, if at all possible, I believe the room that had the firewall come up.
Yep.
So you travel down to the room with the firewall, and the room is still there. About
Well, that's good.
the passageway from I have the maps, I can reshare them if we really want to. But as you are traveling down, you guys find that there is a thunking sound from inside of that room. Let me pull this up. Hey, this happened to be right here. Might take a second to share over, but all right. You guys, at this
Coming
point,
from?
you guys are hearing a loud thunking from inside of there.
The room is closed.
The room is open. You can hear the thunking.
Oh, okay.
The firewall is down.
I'm going towards the thunking.
Okay.
I'm going behind him.
description of the room, in the event of having missed it, you have a pillared porch overlooking a chamber. You're standing on the pillared porch. The room itself contains a model of a city. Arrayed on the porch are numerous clay statues that you see there around those pillars, and they seem to be guards holding spears. The faces of each statue is different, as if they were modeled after actual people, not just standard statues. Next to each statue is a glazed clay pot. The walls are decorated with brightly colored frescoes depicting a royal court in ceremonial garb, and a king arrayed with his armies. There's a chill in the chamber, more like a brisk winter morning than the actual tomb here. The center of the room has an enormous tarnished copper raft crafted to resemble a dragon bearing a copper coffin. The raft is afloat on a sea of silver flowing metal fed by several rivers trailing along the floor in the room. The flowing liquid appears to be cool. Between the waterways, there are stepped pyramids, as you can see, that rise skyward in mute pain to the gods of whatever religion this ancient city worshipped. 3 of the pyramids appear to have tops that can be actually lifted off, more like chests disguised among the actual city, but they're old and revealing themselves. The rest has a royal complex, sprawled, verdant fields, courtyards, ringed marketplaces, docks. They have miniature courtsides, countrysides, then there is a light in the sarcophagi. The sarcophagi, the coffin, and the dragon beer in the middle of the liquid metal river is thumping loudly.
I'm gonna kind of carefully not go into the water if I can, or liquid metal.
And also try to not step on the houses.
Yeah, try not to step on the houses with my gigantic feet. Can I jump over to the boat?
Okay. It is a heavy, heavy coffin that is thumping loudly. You will need an athletics check to attempt to move it, or another check depending on what it is you want to accomplish.
I'll help.
I'm gonna knock back. Who is it? Can't hear it. All right, Dronga, help me out.
Alright. So,
Careful in case something pops at us.
if I can, I'll stand on like the edge here, and then like grab it and like slide it towards me. If it opens that way.
Athletics? I will help you.
Sorry, Tasha's batteries and my batteries both needed changed on our mouses. So let's see, athletics 15. It is insufficient. You lift it and scoot it just a hair, but it is just not moving. It is an extremely heavy lid.
Anything that gives me strength.
Alright, I'm gonna get a better foothold.
I'm going to take one of the. I'm gonna eat an Etten heart,
Shit.
and that basically gives me a potion of hill giant strength.
Who's there? Holy data.
Score of 21. Holy shit.
You can
Oh.
just make a note somewhere on your sheet what your actual score is,
Yeah, I think it's
and
only.
then just you can hold
Yeah.
control or manually type it in.
I only have a strength of 10, so that's pretty easy to remember. All right, let's try this again.
Man, imagine Kosjurkis eating one of those. Holy shit.
Yeah, I'd give you advantage, so.
Yeah, okay.
Damn.
Shit.
Well, your muscles are still flexing from the blood running down your chin from devouring the hill giants, the Etten heart.
Yep.
But after a couple seconds, you start to adjust, and you can kind of swell up and try and do it again.
Sure. What is yours is +7. Fuck. It doesn't even matter, I guess. You want to just both try?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Okay. That sucks. Yeah, you go ahead.
There you go.
Nah, whatever.
You're just not used to it.
Nope.
Just not used to it. With a fairly loud grunt, the two of you stretch and push the coffin lid back. As it slides back, it does reveal what you expected. Smoke is in there and has been in there for probably about 15 hours.
Oh my god.
Now that
You
you're in there,
alright?
you see a small hole in the side that is apparently giving him air to breathe, but he probably would have starved to death.
Water.
Where you been?
I'll toss him in my flask.
That's-
It's not water, but it's a drink.
I'll toss in my water skin.
I'll drink them both.
Yep. Are you alright? Does he look injured or anything?
He is not doing well. He has blood on the top of his head. He is wounded.
I will.
He's at 1 hit point. He's
Okay, I
been
will
slashed and beat.
cast Cure Wounds at level 2. What is that, a +4? Oh, okay.
Thank you, Roland, but we must be careful. There is another one of me.
You don't
Yeah,
have to worry about that. We've already taken care of him. Or rather, Banshee already took care of him for us.
This
It took care of itself.
down.
Banshee?
Alright.
It's a long story, bro. Just glad to see you safe and sound.
Ay. I don't even know where it came from. It just came and then it was in me. On me. Yeah.
Oh, well, while you're having a nap, we found the thing you're looking for.
Yep, look.
He's holding up the long sword with 2 hands.
That is, I do not think that is Dawnbringer, though.
Yeah, pretty sure it is, but
But it's
Well.
supposed Roland, it's supposed to have flamey sword, yeah?
well, it was talking to us, so I just assumed it's important.
Yep.
The sword was talking to you? What?
Yep.
Spoke into
In
our
my head.
minds.
Hello, sword.
It called me a dragon.
What? Nice compliment for you, no?
That's awesome.
Okay, Kosjurkis, make a flame come out. Let's see.
He's like focusing on it.
Nope.
It doesn't seem to be bonded to you quite yet.
I mean, I guess it could be, but I'm pretty sure Dawnbringer has a flamey sword.
Maybe you have to work with it a bit.
Oh yes, okay. Well, I really hope. Well, let's take some time and figure it out, no?
I'll like pat the great axe at my hip, and I'll just say, I needed to spend like a little bit of time with my axe to make its magic work. So
It's talking to me again.
What's it saying?
It called me a dragon.
Yes, okay.
You disconnected, Ben.
Again? Alright. Give me a second here.
Oh, it said I'm powerful and great.
You are powerful and great. I agree.
Errol is gonna be searching around, looking in these houses that look like they tops come off.
Hey Ben, did you ever download, or did I ever send you anything to download Malachie?
No. I actually just disconnected from my VPN. That might have been what was causing this issue. So I've...
Oh, that could do it, yep.
If it keeps happening, let me know. I have a
Yeah.
solution and it works. I have
That-
another player who has that problem and it solved his problem.
Yeah, the whole log me in hey machi thing. Yeah, I've heard of that.
It works really well. It's just not ideal. It's mostly
Yeah.
for people who are having connection issues because of some issue or another. So this room also has an area over here. It's an alcove. Seems to be more like a throne overlooking the city.
Mhm.
And the rest of the area is as described. I will let you guys decide what you want to do.
All
You
right.
do not need to travel out since you've already cleared the way out. Once you're ready, just let me know that you're ready to leave, and we will go from there.
How tall is Dronga in respect to the things?
In respect to the houses,
Yep.
so most of them are pretty small. There are 3 pyramids, one here, one here, and one here that are about up to Dronga's chest. Everything else is extremely small. These seem to be 3 pyramids of significant religious significance in this town or model of a town. If they were new, you probably couldn't tell, but given that they're so old, they could, or they seem to be kind of decayed to the point where the line that shows their secret, the top can be removed, has become revealed just due to normal wear and tear and decay.
Okay.
Does it say that I've reconnected yet? Just out of curiosity.
It does not, sir, no.
All right, give me 1 second here.
Kosjurkis has padded over to the throne and is sitting on it. Does anything bad happen?
Well, there's somebody already in the throne.
Dang it. Okay.
The figure of a preserved, probably adolescent man whose heart has been cut out is already sitting there. And in the alcove, there are pillars that stand around this in front of it, but there is a stone bench where next to the actual throne with the sarcophagi, and around it are 2 things: about 5 canopic jars,
Oh, good.
shaped in the shape of organs. One of them's a heart. And then there are a number of trinkets scattered around, small gems, things like that, rings that are just scattered around the feet of the corpse.
I see. Kosjurkis is going to sit on the bench if there's nothing blocking him from doing so, and he's going to cast Identify as a ritual on this sword hill.
Okay.
Roland's gonna check out this pyramid that he's by. Is there anything interesting about it?
It is a pyramid. Other than that, what are you looking for?
Which one of the buildings had? You said that some of them looked like they had removable tops.
Yes. The one
Oh.
you're standing by is the second one I pointed out.
Let's take their tops off.
That guy there, or the pyramid. I don't know, I'm just gonna keep going around until I find ones with tops off.
So let me actually draw these here. So this one, this pyramid, can have its top removed apparently. It's visible. This one as well. And last but not least, the one you're standing by, Roland.
Nice. Okay.
Try to.
You broke up there. I heard try to.
Oh, try to remove the top. Sorry, I probably just
Okay.
lowered my voice too much.
The top pulls right off, and it is hollow inside.
Nothing in there.
Not that you can see, but it's fairly deep. As I said, it's probably 2.5, 3 feet tall. So you
And
could
then I
probably
will-
you could reach your arm probably all the way down and touch
Yeah,
whatever.
I'll try that. Lose my
Okay.
hand, but okay.
You reach your hand in, and you hear a click.
Oh shit!
Give me a dexterity saving throw.
It's
I
just like
should just
National-
stop touching things.
It's just like National Treasure.
Oh yeah, that sounds about right.
a mechanical vice about 3 inches below the lip snaps closed. And when it snaps closed, you are effectively restrained and grappled. And as soon as you feel it clamp down on your arm, you hear a second whirring noise.
Crap.
Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh shit!
Guys.
In the background, Kosjurkis is just like kicking his feet, like studying the
Mid-spell.
sword help. Yeah, he's not. He's like.
Dronga's hand was like almost in the pyramid when she heard your clicking whirring. Yeah, I'm not gonna do that.
After roughly 2 rounds, 12 seconds, you hear the whirring stop and a whoosh of air as 6 needles from every side of the chest fly out, hitting everybody within 10 feet.
Oh my
Oh.
god.
Epic dodge.
Guys, I'll fucking try and help.
Constitution saving throw.
Ah, shit.
Oh, that's alright.
You get advantage, Dronga.
Nice. Well done, everyone.
And
That's
though the
bad.
needles sting, you do manage to apparently resist the centuries-old poisoned needles. And the whirring stops, and the vice lets go.
I just like take my hand back, just start rubbing it. Fuck. All right.
When you did get your hand in there, you did feel small pieces of jewelry or knickknacks, things of that nature.
Yeah. Nope. Not touching it. Learned my lesson. I'm out of here.
I'm gonna take my great axe and just smash it.
Does it? It is pretty smashable. You come away with some bead bracelets, a coin necklace with 360 silver pieces threaded through it with a piece of cat gut,
Ew.
4 small figurines made of kind of jade, coral, just general, but they're nice, and a ring made of jade and alabaster with a total of 3 rings, and they've all been added to the sheet.
Well then I'll just go smash the other two and see what's in them without setting off.
Yeah, I was just about to say, I'll just whirl around and just smash the one directly behind me. Just take my spear and just whack it as hard as I can.
Fair enough. When you whack the one closest to you, it bursts in a puff of perfume.
I immediately cover my mouth and nose with my free arm. And I also take a few steps back just in case.
Fair enough. And when you smash it, there is a puff of perfume, so you do smell quite nice. But when you look at it, and you're taking a look at it, you notice that this chest, the one you smashed, Indomitable Spirit, was apparently rigged at the top. The lid was trapped with perfume. So if you disabled the trap, if you didn't disable the trap, it would just puff perfume in your face. If you did disable the trap, it seemed that you just prevented yourself from being sprayed with perfume. Below it was a second trap, apparently designed to go off once the prospective thief thought they had disabled the real trap. And there you notice a poisoned dart, now broken, aimed at the top of the chest. So there was a false trap designed to lure the person or thief into not doing a second investigation before reaching it. Inside, you find 15 bracelets, coin necklaces, silver platters, and 60 gems. Some spindles, tourmalines, topazes, quite nice gems as well.
Very nice. Is the poison dart still available? Like, can that still be pilfered?
Oh no, you shattered it.
Okay, fair enough. It's just as well. Probably accidentally pricked myself trying to recover that thing anyway.
So the other chest, the last one, smashed open by your lady dwarf Dronga, is jammed. The lid seems to be a little jammed when you walk up. So you, as you do, smash it, and the chest itself seems to have another vice inside and more needles, and none of which are able to go off. It is full of coin necklaces, some very nice earplugs. What it means by earplugs are the jade discs that fit into holes, not actual earplugs.
Like a game.
Rings and a statuette made of alabaster. And you have successfully looted all of that. And Kosjurkis is just finishing up his identification of the sword, now knowing all the information. All of it is now listed on the item he can see, and I'll let him share that.
Oh, it is Dawnbringer.
And Identify does give you history and knowledge of the item. That's the beauty of the spell.
Telling me everything.
Okay.
Hang on 1 second. There we go.
It's sad. It's sad that it was locked away.
Let's see.
I can't use this. For many reasons.
That's funny.
But maybe you can.
The intent was never to use it. It's simply to
But it's so
find
sad.
it.
Uh-oh.
What is it? Kosjurkis, what?
It wants to have a wielder.
This blade is sentient?
Yes. It's been talking to me.
What? Who does he want to wield it?
Me.
But you can't.
No.
You mind if I just share that stuff for you, the group?
Yeah, go for it. Go for it.
Holy tits.
Yeah, there's a lot of mechanical stuff that I couldn't think of how to like actually put to words.
Thought I'd save you the headache.
Let's see, did they share? Okay.
Here. Does it talk to you too?
He offers it to Smoke.
At this point, Smoke just starts crying.
Uh-oh.
He takes it back.
I did not think. I hope. my father spent hundreds of years looking for this item, and they all called him the fool because it never exists, or and now it's it's right here, but it's
Roland just kind of passed him on the back. And it's like, there.
Let's say, Spirit
Don't worry,
Bruno
she
does the
sounds
same.
nice.
I mean, I would take it, but I'm even afraid to use it as a weapon. I feel as though okay. I need to get this thing to a city. I need to get it somewhere and prove that my father was right.
Above ground or in the Underdark?
Gottenheim would be fine, but even if I
Yeah,
guess
that's the thing that Kosjurkis is referring to.
Blingdenstone would be fine, perhaps. Somewhere where we can just spread the word, and and if I could send a message, magically or otherwise, to my father, just to let him know. Oh. But it always wants to be light, huh? It always wants to be shining.
Yes,
It doesn't
and
want to be alone.
it was essentially buried with Bryrus of Nethrines about 900 to 2,000 years ago. No one knows exactly how long ago. And it is a sentient weapon that has essentially been alone for over 1,000 years in the darkness. The one thing it is designed to fight, and it cannot activate its light blade without a user. The post-traumatic issues it has related to that manifest in a fear of abandonment and a lack of a desire to have to be in darkness. It wants its blade active because its blade shines light. Light gets rid of the darkness. It does radiant damage. It is a +2 weapon.
Its blade is made out of sunlight, which is going to be hilarious if someone actually activates it in front of Kosjurkis. It's also finesse. If you're worried about strength.
It would be interesting. I'm sure I could use, but I also like to live in the darkness. Yes.
I'll step forward and I'll take a nod. It says, if you don't mind, I'll accept it.
I could, I would, but I can't.
How about this? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Spirit, you take it, but you must promise that you help me get it to civilization. Yes. At least to prove that we found it. Yes.
I say I give a nod. Just so long as you keep in my hand, you're under the bargain to help me find my spouse and son.
That's yes. I was going to say we can use it to find your family. Yes. Well, or to help us find your family. Yes.
Now, do bear in mind, whether through Kosjurkis or another manner, you guys know through its communication what it doesn't want is to be hung on a wall and left in the dark. It wants to. Its whole goal is to be used. That's what it's made for.
And I will even speak directly to the sword. Look, if you want to be used, I will use you. Help me find my family. provide me your guiding light to help me find my family, and I will offer you the combat you wish.
It will serve whoever is willing to keep it active as much as possible. As a side note, I'm going to, because the party sheet is filling up with all things designed to be converted to cash, the items are essentially worth money. There are items, gems are a form of currency. For simplicity, I'm going to transfer them all into gold. I took all the things that you guys, anything that is just essentially money out. I'm going to transfer it into gold and split it up on your sheet just to keep the party sheet clear. Is that okay with you guys? Do you guys have anything in there that you want that doesn't actually do anything? It's more cosmetic and monetary.
Yep, I'm okay.
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, nothing for me.
But wait. The Jade Mask. What is that a mask of again? I forget.
The Jade Mask was literally just a mask. It was one of the things you guys robbed from somewhere.
It was from another sarcophagus.
I think we got it from the tomb that that had the axe with the shadow of a hand.
Yeah.
Yeah, the guy started to come to life, and we
And
just
we
kind
like
of grabbed
grabbed
everything
the
off
mask
of it.
we grabbed the mask off his face as he was getting up and then ran away.
Yep.
Okay, we will save the mask. Is there anything else you want to save?
Yeah, I'll take the mask and I'll wear it.
Okay. You can. Anybody else want anything out of there before I convert it into gold?
Those earplugs. I'd have piercings and whatnot, so I might how big are they?
They're varying in size.
I'll take the earplugs so that way I can stretch my ears out and wear these cool plugs.
There are 6 pair. So if you just want to grab, you should be able to just grab the little shield and drop it on your character sheet inventory. If you drag it once, it'll bring 1 pair.
Nice.
There's also a diadem. Queen Ophelia. Diadem is a fancy it's a fancy word for jeweled crown. So there's crowns, and then there's diadems. Diadems are essentially, think tiara, except instead of just being a regular tiara, it has gems in it. It's a jeweled tiara.
I was about to say Queen Ophelia's crown got stolen before,
Yeah,
so this might be
Queen Ophelia has returned.
I'll put a picture of a diadem inside of the chat here. This diadem has dark opals and jades, but it's still a diadem.
I just had an idea. Would the obsidian bronze shell bracelets fit over a kobold horn? Because I just had an idea. Because I think that would be kind of neat.
Yeah, I mean they can be tightened down.
Perfect. Yeah, he'll grab one of those and wear it. Because it's too big for his arm.
None of these are magic items, are they?
No, I don't think so.
None of this is magic.
Okay, I didn't think so.
I took everything that was magic out.
Yeah. Sweet.
I think I'm good.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm
sounds
good.
to me.
Let's see, who else? Alex? Dronga? Queen Ophelia, you guys good? I want to make sure before I hit this button.
I'm good.
Yep.
Yeah, I think so.
Wow.
There you go.
That is money.
There you have all that, and now...
Shit.
Oh my god. We actually have money.
All right. Okay, okay.
Look at all that silver.
I love how we just like have all this money just suddenly immediately.
We've had it.
I was about to
Just
say,
been storing
kid.
it.
Okay, cool.
Dawnbringer is now on the party sheet. Once more.
And for organization purposes, so you know, I moved Bag of Holding to the party sheet, and I put all the stuff that I thought you guys wanted to keep into the Bag of Holding. It's a character sheet at the top right, and one person can look at it at a time, but it basically has, usually one person's the person carrying the Bag of Holding. Whoever carries the Bag of Holding operates the character sheet. But it's you got a Dark Lake Stout, Phantom Dust, Potion of Invisibility, a Roper Hide, 4 Shambling Vines, and a single vial of Mind Flayer Blood.
Nice. Okay.
So, just for posterity's sake, whoever wants to carry the party's Bag of Holding.
I can if nobody else wants to.
I say I'm good either way.
That sounds good. Rolen should carry, yes.
And I guess I'll just hold on to this for the time being.
And I will let you manage the Bag of Holding character sheet, Rolen. It's just
Yep.
it's just an inventory.
Yep. No worries.
All right. So, what do you guys want to do in this room? As I said, once you guys are ready to leave, let me know. Kosjurkis finishes identifying Dawnbringer.
Did she talk to you too?
Yes, Spirit, what did she say? Or it say?
You'd have to spend for any free flowing communication, you're going to have to spend an hour attuning.
Well, hey, I can. Hey, just out of curiosity, if I spend the hour attuning, can I also use that as a meditation? For
You
like
mean a short rest?
Yeah.
Yes, they happen simultaneously. You have to do a short
Sweet.
rest to attune.
Haha, sweet. Yeah, we can definitely do that. I can meditate and communicate with Dawnbringer and see what it wants.
I'm okay with a short rest, but I'm pretty spent.
Maybe
Yeah.
even long rest then? Try and bar the doors and...
Yeah. Is this room filled with that fog, or?
It is not.
Yep. Then yeah, I'm okay with taking a long rest.
And then get out of here, yes?
Yeah,
Yeah,
at least get
let's
the hell
get
out of here. Yeah.
Oh, Tony, I have a question for you.
Shoot.
Do the doors open in or out?
In towards
Okay.
towards the room.
Perfect.
Immovable rod on the door.
Nice.
This is
Okay.
good thing. We should probably still do what's the word? Watches, yes?
Yep.
Yep.
What's a watch?
You put on
It's a-
wrist and check time.
I was thinking the same joke.
Same.
No, Kosjurkis is when one person look at door for some time, make sure nothing come through, yes?
Okay.
Oh, and maybe before we go to sleep, thank you, everyone.
Oh, no problem. I knew something was fishy about that guy.
Well, I mean, obviously, he could not have been as handsome as me, no?
I couldn't tell the difference by sight. No.
What?
But
Look the same.
the way he acted.
He was nicer.
Yeah, much nicer.
That's impossible. What do you mean?
For the record, I gave Alex a mission when he was role playing himself as a doppelganger. Yeah, good job too. The doppelganger's mission was to get out alive and do his best to get you guys caught in traps.
So we got caught in a lot of traps.
Nah, I don't know.
To be fair, I didn't really get to see us getting caught in any more than usual, so.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah, that's why I rushed ahead into that room. It's pretty funny when I died. I had to like keep my mouth shut because I was like, haha.
I just like how the problem took care of itself, like pretty
Mhm.
much perfectly.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, you literally had me, like, kind of, like, just thinking, like, okay, how long has he been a doppelganger?
Like 3.5 games, 2.5 games.
Like, dang.
But when you
Like-
said that, yeah, I was like, oh great, they're just gonna think I was a double ganger day one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I literally
before-
did. I was like,
My favorite
oh.
part was last game. Everybody was talking about it, and Tanner wasn't here, and Mal wasn't here, and Ben and Natasha were just like, "Yeah, guess he was a doppelganger all along. Fuck him, let's go." They were like, nobody was like, "Let's go." All right, fuck that guy.
I've got 2 characters made in case.
in case in case Mal and Tanner couldn't make it, he
Yeah.
was just be dead.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's it.
I feel like with this party, it's a good practice to have backups, especially with how many close calls Kosjurkis has
Oh.
had over the fucking
Yeah.
year.
Like I said before, how many times the spirit came close to biting it?
We've all been there, yeah. We've all been there.
All right. If we can get through 2 campaigns without a single party member dying, I think that'd be pretty sweet. That would be pretty good.
You just jinxed it right then and there.
No, it's fine.
We've gone this far.
Sure. All right, let's have a long rest in a horrible death trap dungeon.
Yeah.
Long rest it is.
You
Say,
got XP too?
Mm.
nice.
It applies it automatically.
That's cool.
Spirit, you are proficient with that longsword, short sword, right?
I believe so. It is a martial weapon.
There you go.
Beautiful.
So yeah, it's listed martial weapon under subtype. So yeah, hell yeah, I could use this as a monk weapon.
Do I still have my beetle?
You do still have your beetle, and Roland still has his pet, and I have some rules drawn up for them. I will send them to you guys. I will try to remember to do that tonight, but to be honest, I probably will forget.
All good. Mine will probably just not do anything and just stay with me the entire time. So.
That's what they're supposed to do.
Yep.
I mean, should I pet my beetle or should I do anything with my beetle?
The rules I drew up for what I am calling vanity pets are essentially you can train them to do non-combat things. So it's a non-combat related thing. It's a character development thing. You can have a pet. You can spend some time training it to do things like sit, stay, fetch, bark, guard, things like that. Non-combat related. It can help you maybe on watch, but it doesn't actually contribute anything mechanically. So you can, the longer you spend with it, the more better chance you have. I will send them while we do this. And does anybody want to change their spells at all?
Currently doing so.
Hey,
See if I can remember what spells I have.
take a look. Let's see. In Agile Smoke, you have spells, but Ophelia is a sorceress.
Yes and no.
Queen Ophelia has been rethroned after being dethroned
Feels great.
by Droki, who dethroned her.
Where did I get that? Me?
Here in Fantasy Grounds are the very basic skeleton of it. The animal is yours. You do an animal handling check to gain its trust, partial trust. And you guys have done that. We did those when every time you take a long rest, you do an animal handling check, which is 12 plus the challenge rating of the creature. When you succeed, it gains a loyalty. When it reaches 2 loyalty, it's considered tamed. You can teach it 1 trick per intelligence score. 5 loyalty, it's domesticated, 2 tricks per intelligence score. 10 loyalty, it's a companion, 3 tricks per intelligence score. Essentially, the higher the challenge rating on the creature, the more stubborn and it is to train. I have a number of options for creatures for you. Natasha, Fire Beetle, Giant Fire Beetle is just a straight 12. And I think the creature I have for you, I know what the creature's name is. I just have to actually pull it up. Rolen, I believe yours is a 0 as well. You wanted an Underdark pet, I believe.
Yep. Yeah, I was going to buy it at market or whatever, but
I have a creature. It's from a book I worked on called Amaroon's Almanac, and it was actually, to be honest, it was co-written by Ed Greenwood.
That's cool.
Yeah, I was showing Tasha the other day some of the stuff I work on and my freelance stuff. I have to like send royalties to people who are co-work on things, and the last 5 projects I've done, I've had to actually send royalties directly to Ed Greenwood's email. So now I have Ed Greenwood's direct email. Obviously, it would be unprofessional to send him an email for obvious reasons, but it's cool.
yeah.
But if I were to send him an email,
Yeah. How did you get this? How did you get this number?
Right. The challenge rating on yours, Roland, is a 1. I'm sending it to you.
Hold my animal handling check. Heck yeah.
But it's a non-combat pet, so
Yep.
You can treat it at it. Let me send it here. This is an image of it. It's essentially a small beast. It's a deep bat. It has bites and small lightning discharges, stuff like
Heck
that.
yeah, I'm all about that.
it's like a flying bat snake.
I like it. Staying with me, staying in my on my shoulder the entire time.
All right, so let's go ahead and take a 5-minute break here now that we got all the pets sorted out and everybody can adjust their spells as needed. And then we will resume with you guys leaving the tomb.
Very nice.
All right. Cool.
Oh yeah.
I like it.
I'm back if anybody's still here.
I got a question for you, Tony.
I am ready.
The jade plugs, was it so that like you start small and there's 2 small ones and then there's another pair of bigger ones and then each pair gets bigger and bigger, or were they all?
It didn't specify, but I'm fine with that if you want to just keep a pair and have them adjustable in size.
Yeah, just because I know you already converted it. Because I was gonna see if I could like stretch them out, not like massive, but
Oh, that's fine. Absolutely.
and stretched out.
It's
plugs.
mostly for flavoring, so it's fine with you having a couple adjustable ones.
Okay, cool. Sweet. I thank you.
My pleasure. Sorry, took a bite of potato salad.
No worries. I'm ordering Burger King.
We ordered McAllister's. We were going to cook, but we realized that we can't cook and play D&D at the same time.
What the heck is McAllister?
It's a deli. It's a pretty good deli. Tasha is allergic to gluten. Not like I want to be on a gluten-free diet, but like it causes her. she's actually allergic to it. So it's a deli that has really good. I mean, it's a very good deli, and they have really good gluten-free stuff.
Nice. We do not have it up here.
I don't know where they're at. Yeah, they opened a Tim Hortons here, and it lasted like I shit you. It was really popular, but it only lasted like 4 weeks.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they opened a bunch of test ones out in the States. I think back when I worked 3 years ago.
They opened one over by our. Well, the problem is they opened it over by the airport, and I don't know how it is in Canada, but if people that live around the airports aren't what you call super classy, so they didn't do too hot. Had they opened it up like in some of the nicer suburbs, it would have done a lot better. But
Well, it's a good point. If you have money, you're probably not buying a house right beside an airport, right?
correct. That is
Unless
that
you're
is correct.
really into planes.
Yeah, yeah.
Also, you're probably gonna go to Starbucks. Your money is better.
Who's in the
You ever heard of
plane?
that, Tasha? You ever heard of people just going to Starbucks randomly?
Yes.
That's about the. I sent a picture. That was our vacation. That was the 1 second we had our masks off on our vacation. You can see the masks on our kids' necks. We made them. We told them they could take it off for the picture only. Took a picture. Put your goddamn mask back on.
That's super cool.
Our middle son wears glasses, and he told Tasha, "This is making my glasses fog. I don't like it." She said, "Me either. Put it on."
Yep.
Yeah.
You could just see his face. He was like, "Oh."
Yeah.
There are I don't know how much access you have to them, but like the disposable ones with the bridge in them, if you pinch them hard enough at the bottom of your nose, it doesn't do it, because I have to wear one for work and I have to wear my goggles. I find if I pinch it hard enough, I don't get the breath coming up and fogging up my glasses.
Yeah, if you can kind of like, you gotta finagle them a little bit to try and get
Yeah.
them to vent downwards instead of upwards.
Yeah.
Some guy freaking told me that if you put like shaving cream on them and then like wipe it off, apparently it stops it from fogging. I don't know if that's true though.
I just don't wear glasses.
Or that.
Yeah. I'm like,
You know,
fuck. I just
Alright,
let it
just
happen.
have some fucking good eyesight. So
I know, like, why would you do that option?
Roll well on the genetic lottery.
yeah.
We tried to get it. We tried to get Tasha to go on a roller coaster, and it took like 9 hours. And they convinced her to get on one of the little teacup spinny roller coasters that looked real passive. And that thing fucked her world up.
Rough.
They trapped her. They were like, "It's slow, Mom." That was some flavored false advertising.
Yeah, little bastards like cried almost.
I wasn't on it, but I could see she rode with my oldest. I could see him like saying, "It's okay, Mom." He was trying to hold her.
They're not for everyone. I get that. I like them, but I get that they're not for everyone.
Do we have Ben back?
Yes, I'm here.
Nice.
All right. Ben hath returned. All right. So, is there anything else you guys want to do? Not only in this room, in the temple.
I'm okay.
Yeah, safety first. Let's get out of here. There might be cool stuff still here, but there's also certainly lots of traps and other dangers still. So
We've had to circumvent a lot of different things just to get to this point. So
yeah.
If it makes you feel better, I think Matt's in here. Our Monday game last time, they got fucking wrecked by traps. They got wrecked by banshees. 2 banshees hit them. At the beginning of our game, we had the cleric at half life and other 5 party members unconscious.
I was not at Half-Life.
You were half life adjacent. They forced the bard with a passive perception of 12 to search for traps. He died 4 times. He was wounded, dropped to 0 4 times in a 3-hour game.
Oh my god.
So were you Half-Life Full Life Consequences then?
He has lingering injuries as a result. All right. His problems aside, we are going to resume our game. You guys are leaving the tomb. Let me close the maps. And if you guys recall, which it's been a while, but you guys are in the midst of traveling. Let me close down some of these images that you will not need anymore, so it doesn't force things onto you. Okay, so this is the map that you have stolen. Some of these arrows were for planning purposes.
Yeah.
Let me remove them because they don't really have much of a purpose now.
Did we steal the map though, or did we just
it was
take it off a
stolen
dead body?
from someone else.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
So
So we
your
didn't
path thus far traveled from here, where it started. Let me just delete all of it. So you guys started at Velkenvelv, where you escaped. You traveled to a Kawatoan settlement here. Witnessed a very large, very angry creature. Traveled across the Underdark, the Dark Lake in the Underdark. It was not a straight line, but for simplicity of explanation, we're going to make it a straight line. Encountered some kobolds and a number of other people. Traveled to Gracklestug. From there, spent actually a while in Gracklestug. You know, fought a mind flayer. Literally was one roll away from death. When you left Gracklestug, you decided you were going to travel to Neverlight Grove. Neverlight Grove is up here. You got almost there when you were dropped into a temple. So this has been your very Cliff Note-y explanation of you guys so far. So you are in the very close vicinity of Gracklestug. At the moment, the characters you have with you, besides the players, are 2 remaining. You've lost in your trip. You have lost a few people in the escape. Eldath was a dwarf. A couple others you lost when you're in your escape from Velkenvelv. You lost Shushar, who was a Kawatoan who was murdered. Later you found out murdered by another one of your NPC friends. Along the path, you've lost a few. The 2 you have with you are Jimjar, the Svirfneblin, who has lost an arm in the process, number of things. You have Stool. Stool is a myconid sprout. You were traveling to Neverlight Grove with the intention of returning Stool to his house, and in the hopes of, since myconids are very long-lived fungal-based creatures, of finding information about how to get out of the Underdark. The problem in the Underdark is that there's no straight line to the surface, and the few paths to the surface are extremely jealously guarded. So you're trying to find information on how to get to the surface. One, because who wants to be in the Underdark?
Yep.
But also, on top of that, there's also the issue of now Smoke would like to return this sword to the surface in civilization. So, now on top of that, Jimjar is able to lead you to Blingdenstone, which on this map that you have is located here with the square around it to the northeast of Neverlight Grove. And again, these are marked on maps as straight lines, but they are not straight lines. You're traveling through tunnels. And the other thing you can see with a circle around it, way up here, is, if you scroll out, Menzo Baranzan. Probably not a good place to be.
Didn't we hear something about a caravan of Khajiit? Not Khajiit. Tabaxi.
Khajiit has wares if you have coin.
Yeah, like Tabaxi slaves or something being taken away from Gracklstug
You did.
in the direction of Blingdenstone?
You did. You heard in Gracklstug that there was a slave caravan of Tabaxi, and it had left Gracklstug in the direction of Blingdenstone a few 10 days ago. And now whether it was going to Blingdenstone probably is unlikely. The Dark Dwarves, the Duergar, don't trade openly with Blingdenstone very often, and they definitely don't trade in slaves, because Sphere of Nebly do not believe in slavery, but Menzo Baranzan and the Drow do. So they trade with the Dark Dwarves and they deal in slaves. So it's quite likely that they were heading in that direction. Now, there is the desire to reclaim her family might be something that requires more resources than you have. So I'll leave that up to you guys to decide, but at some point you may need to return to the surface before she finds her family in order to actually, you're escaped slaves. You're dealing, you have equipment that you've borrowed, stolen, grabbed. Your resources are scant. But right now your plan, as I understood it, was to take Stool to Neverlight Grove, hoping to get information, and then moving along onward to Blingdenstone, if you don't find it there, but also to help get Jimjar home.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that's where you guys find yourself. You guys are nearing Neverlight Grove. You guys will be reaching it there soon. The only thing I wanted to mention was that message I did post, since it has been a few games. In traveling in the Underdark in this campaign, it comes in phases. The first phase is you're escaped Velkenvelve, you're starving to death, you're dying of thirst, you're being hunted. There are major issues along the way. So every day of traveling between Velkenvelve and Slubludob or Gracklstug is a huge ordeal, and it takes multiple games. As you gain in power and you gain the spells such as create food and water, teleportation, fly spells, things like that, the travel becomes less and less of a feature. Not that you're not still traveling, it's that you now possess magic to circumvent a massive cavern. There's no necessity, it doesn't necessitate using game time for you to puzzle solve to cross a cavern that takes a spell that 3 of your party has. So we will be dealing less and less with travel, more and more with major story locations. And the intention of the campaign is that first part to establish the atmosphere. As you move forward, the travel becomes less and less of a big feature. With that being said, you're going to be arriving at Neverlight Grove very soon. So does anybody have any questions about the travel and why it's going to seem less prevalent. I don't want anybody just to wonder why. Well, we stopped traveling all of a sudden. Well, it's intended that way. I didn't want anybody to wonder these things.
Makes sense.
Fair enough. Well, with that, you guys are assumingly traveling still, but if you guys want to change directions, this is your game. Let me know what you guys want to do.
Onward to Neverlight Grove.
Yeah, but I would like to have a spore conversation with the little guy before we get there. Just to try. Yeah, just to get some ideas. Like, what are we walking into? Like, are they gonna kill us on sight because they're like xenophobic, or like, you know?
Stool tells you that myconids are found throughout the Underdark. His people are not hostile. They are not xenophobic. They are not aggressive. They will defend themselves if they're threatened, but if approached peacefully, and he will of course make those introductions, they almost always allow anyone to rest, recuperate, provide shelter, and safe passage, so long as they are not a threat to the community.
That sounds good. That sounds good. Insight check. Is this little bastard lying and tricking us this whole time?
No, he is not.
That's fair. That's fair.
He is not a doppelganger, and he is not a mass murdering psychopath.
Because like, aren't we like 50-50 on that at this point? Like,
Yeah, so far.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like either him or Jim Jar is gonna try and kill us, right? But okay, all right.
Wait, isn't Hammett dead?
Huh?
Who?
Yeah, the
I don't know.
halfling who was with us.
Argus?
Yeah,
Oh,
No,
yeah.
no,
he was
talking
killed
about-
killed by Bupido inside of the Kobold prison. He was killed by Bupido, the mass murderer in your party that you guys pretty much just walked around the whole Underdark.
Oh.
Jim Jar fought him, and then the sentient gelatinous cube that was traveling with you killed Bupido and actually dissolved his entire corpse before fleeing. When you guys got back, you had Fungus dead, Bupido dead and dissolved, your sentient gelatinous cube fled with only Jim Jar wounded and missing an arm, and Stool.
Who do you hang out with?
A mix.
Okay. So as you guys are traveling forward, you guys travel roughly 2 days from this point. Moving through tunnels, chutes, going up as much as you go forward. Sometimes you have to backtrack. But with your growing power and your growing magical resources, the great and powerful Kosjurkis allows you to bypass quite a bit of it, as well as your magic in favor of healing from Queen Ophelia. You guys don't have any major issues, especially as your numbers grow as well. You guys travel to Neverlight Grove, and as you get closer, Stool is able to guide you more and more. The area starts to show signs of increased fungal growth about a day out from Neverlight Grove. You start noticing verdant patches of moss and lichen that seems to provide light. Then there are sentinel mushrooms and large various colonies. It doesn't take long for it to grow exponentially, where it first was more mold, now it's overwhelmingly large amounts of mold and fungus, until at some point you enter a cavern through a small area, and when you enter the cavern onto a spongy ground, and as you step into this cavern, you find yourself almost overwhelmed by the image. I'm going to share the image first, then I will read the description. That is what you see.
Nice.
Wow.
Fair.
The pale cream and beige stalks that grow thick and tall, resembling surface world forests. Fungi growth in profusion everywhere. It's hard to find anything resembling a path between them. The giant caps of the Zerkwood mushrooms obscure your view of the cavern ceilings in many places, but the entire area is well lit by luminescent fungus that gives off a shimmering aura that appears that light is coming every direction. With each step taken forward on the soggy ground, the scent of rank decay rises around you.
Bag of holding. Sorry.
What the bag say?
Do we have a mimic with us? No.
So here is a massive map I'm going to share with you. You can close the descriptive image. This is a large map. I'm going to mask quite a bit of it. You will be able to see some of it.
Rolen, would the decay be normal for this type of fungus?
What was the question?
The smell of death, of decay.
Oh, yes, very. Yes.
Is normal?
Yep. Most fungus grows out of decaying things, right?
What do you
And
mean?
refuse.
Like shit.
Yep.
Ah. That's gross.
Yeah. Well, everything kind of grows out of something, right? So we gotta grow out of something. But yeah, no, it's not. It doesn't smell nice if you're not used to it.
Well, as long as it's safe or whatever,
Relatively.
There you go. You guys can adjust your tokens as you see fit. You will be coming in from the bottom right.
So I'm gonna leave Stool with whoever, or he can walk with the group.
You
But
can stay with me.
I'm gonna push up because is there any natural light here?
It's all natural light. This place is extremely well lit in every single direction.
Ha.
I'm still gonna try and sneak up and be sneak with a stealth check, of course.
But of course.
That's how you do it, right there.
There you go.
Shit, where'd smoke go?
So as you move forward, you see a large lake. Now, as you move around the lake, you notice there are a number of areas that seem to grow larger. There are rises all around you. So this is a multi-leveled cave complex, and you are in the bottom. So there are rises to your left, rises to your right, and as you move around, you can see, I'm unmasking presently, a number of other small features and lakes. There is a area straight ahead that seems to have movement, for you anyways, right here. It seems to have movement. As you do move there along, you notice that up on the rises to your right that you're sneaking along are figures hunched, moving very slowly, and that they are seemingly just working at something. Of what it is, you are not sure. This should unmask the majority of what you see here.
Those figures don't have any like chains or anything on them, right?
They do not. So from there, as you move forward, you also notice some shapes of humanoid things over around this patch of fungus.
I'm just gonna like keep moving up. Basically, my goal is like, while the group moves in, not quietly, I want to be ahead stealthily, right? But then also like I also want to get close enough that I can see what I'm looking at here.
So there are 3 myconids, and I will send you a picture of myconids so you can see them. Take it off of share here. There's quite a few different pictures, but this is a general idea of what you get when you see some myconids. They are humanoid in shape, but they are fungal. They're made completely of various kinds of fungus, and they are very slow moving. They don't seem to be creatures that rush about at all. The ones there seem to have tools made of hardened mushroom, and they are tilling ground slowly, methodically. It almost seems like they're moving in slow motion, and they're just monotonously tilling the ground. When you guys are moving up, Agile Smoke is obviously hidden, but the others are moving up quietly, but they not making a great effort at stealth, especially at least no stealth rolls I've seen. The myconids look up, look around, and when they notice you, they don't seem to feel or appear to react in any threatened manner. They look up, give a strange hand motion that seems almost alien, touching from their forehead to their knee, and then move back to their work, almost seeing you as a passerby.
Rolen will reciprocate whatever motion they just did.
Yeah, Dronga will do.
Stool makes a point to let you know that the central mounds will be the location of any figures of authority.
Rolen presses on then with stool.
So as you move forward, you see a large mound beyond the mud and the mushrooms that spread out here. As you move through, you notice that across the cavern, the large clear pool you're moving around, behind it is a central mound that seems to be pretty much the only dry spot that doesn't smell and reek of death and mold. It's rising out of the fertile but awful, rancid smelling ground. There's a small cliff that rises above the floor, as I described them, with giant mushrooms visible in the distance. Bioluminescent fungus trace strange constellations. As you get into the center, you look up and you see it's almost like there's twinkling stars above you as the fungus constellations shimmer in various intensities. As you move forward, there are multiple fungal creatures over there. There's probably 4 to 5, but also the mound is surrounded by 10 large Zerkwoods, very large Zerkwoods.
Kind of like wave to the mic and as if they see me.
They see you approaching, and one of the myconids makes a motion with its entire arm, throwing its entire body in a very slow, undulating manner, indicating for you to approach.
Approach I shall. Are they up on the mound?
They are. So
Okay.
there are, as I said, 5 myconids, 2 of which seem larger than the others. They're moving very slowly. There is one myconid that seems to kind of throw you off. He's actually moving quickly. He's energetic. The rest of the myconids are slow moving, and he moves fast. And as he moves forward, there is a shifting in his sinuous cap, and he lets out a large cloud of dust or spores that fills about a 20-foot area, and it isn't spraying at you, it's just emitting from him. Your choice is you can back up or stay there and let it wash over you. It's up to you.
I'm gonna watch over him, or let it wash over me, because I've done this before.
You have.
Yeah.
For those of you who haven't, I'm sure it's communicated. Myconids cannot talk. They communicate, and you guys all interact with stool. Myconids are not able to speak. They don't have vocal cords, but they release spores that, once they enter your brain, establish a temporary telepathic link. They're called rapport spores. That's how they communicate. The energetic creature moves forward very quickly, gets his spores up and moving, and in a voice very unlike Stool's, very almost high-pitched as it echoes through your head, he says, "You are safe, friendly softers. You arrive at a wondrous time, for the Neverlight Grove is on the verge of something great, something marvelous. Create, celebrate, as the day of joy is nigh."
Wonderful.
The Myconid towards the back moves forward a little slower, also adding his rapport spores, and in a slow, methodical voice says, "You are welcome if you come in peace to the Neverlight Grove. Rest, take sustenance, but bring no harm to our community. We see you travel with one of our kind. He is but a sprout. How comes you buy him?"
It's unfortunate to be one of a prisoner alongside us for the Drow. He was going to be sold as a slave, as were we before we escaped.
The excitable Myconid introduces himself as Philo. And almost dismissively, he kind of waves an appendage towards Stool for saying, "Yes, more is merry. You bring more. We invite you to stay and explore and enjoy the delights of Neverlight Grove, softlings. I just please ask that you avoid the eastern plateau. The Master and the Circle of Masters is preparing a wondrous and glorious surprise in the Garden of Welcome. But the rest of the grove is yours to enjoy. I would be happy to show you our surprise tomorrow after you've had some rest, if you would be interested. That is something that very few have seen, and you will probably be able to see it early."
Would gratefully accept your invitation. I would love to stay. Depends on the party, though, if they would also like to stay for this.
I ain't got nothing else better to do.
The other Myconid kind of speaks up and says his name is Sovereign Basidia. And with a slow, same methodical voice, he seems to be focused on the return of Stool, and he says, "I thank you, Softers, for returning and saving one of our kind, especially one so helpless and weak in the wider world. You have earned our trust and favor. If you need any of the requirements of your fleshy bodies, please do not hesitate to ask. We have no cultural taboos here, as I have seen in the world. Please pick any area that you desire and make camp as you need. I'll uncover that for you. Smoke."
Are we?
Go
sorry.
ahead.
Oh, I was
I'm
going to
just-
ask him if we were allowed to make camp on the mounds, because they seem to be the only dry area.
Yes, there is no issue using the mounds. We use them to meet in circles, but we only meet once, very rarely as necessary.
Sounds good. What is going to be happening, or is it only a surprise that's going to be revealed tomorrow?
Sovereign Philo chirps up and says, "It is a great surprise. No one else knows. It is something that we in the Circle of Masters must keep a secret until tomorrow, but you will be the first to see. We will meet tomorrow after you have rested, and I will show you. It is something that you will be marvelously overwhelmed with." And he seems to almost bounce in place with excitement.
I don't know whether to trust this guy or not. Rolen would definitely just trust him. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just asking, like, if I'm standing too far back, if I got the spores and I'm hearing any of this, or
It's up to you. It's completely voluntary. If you want the spores, you can get them and then back up. If you don't, you can stay back. It's completely choice.
okay.
Kosjurkis has had enough spores for a while, I think.
Sovereign Basidia speaks up and says, "If you would like, I will escort you upon a tour of our area, excluding the area Sovereign Philo seems protective over. I can introduce you to the respective circle leaders and show you the areas that are available to you. If you are well rested, it is also something I would be happy to discuss with you as we go. If you are interested and are not in need of rest, that is. I am aware that softlings rest more often than we."
How long have we been traveling before we got here?
Probably 6-7 hours. You're getting to the end of your travel day.
Okay, well, yeah. I wouldn't mind a I wouldn't mind a tour quickly before we have to make camp. How about the rest of you? If anybody's not in the conversation, I will kind of say what's going on.
Rest what?
Rest up for the night.
Oh, yes.
Would you like to come on the tour, though, Kosjurkis?
Okay.
Okay. Anybody else?
I'll go.
The map is probably frozen for just a second as I am unmasking the entire western cavern simultaneously. Simplicity's sake. So this plateau rises higher than the other terraces up there. Smoke. It seems to be screened by a natural fence of soaring Zerkwood stalks. Muffled murmuring can be heard past them. The Zerkwood stalk line is, let me pull this up, right here, and there are caverns on either side. But for those of you going on a tour, you have the Sovereign Basidia starts to take you away on the tour as Smoke is exploring. Sovereign Philo seems to go back to bouncing and talking to the other Myconids, completely ignoring you. And he takes you first to the south area along the southern terraces down here. The southern terraces are quiet and calm. The only sound here is like a soft plopping splash as the water drips from stalactites onto caps of mushrooms that sprout from the mushy earth. There is a circle up here, a circle leader he introduces as Rasharu. Rasharu makes frequent trips outside of the grove and notices that there are some strange goings on out in the world of the softlings. As you are moving, though, the sovereign Basidia takes a moment and asks, as you are traveling, he asks if you are friends of the Myconids or if you are simply bypassing after delivering their friend home.
Roland will speak up. I consider myself a friend of the Myconids. I have melded with your brothers before.
Assuming you speak for the party, since you're the only one kind of engaging.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
He kind of no, you're fine. He's
Okay.
taking that as you are the spokesman at this point. He says in his slow voice, looking over. What's it? Oh, make sure it wasn't a message. Ben, you disconnected. The Sovereign Basidia, in his slow voice, says, "We Myconids are not an excitable people. It is considered to be a successful life of a Myconid to sprout, to flourish, to work, and to perish, without ever having the excitement that seems to plague the lives of the Softly. It is not something we do to become overly involved in the world. As friends of the Myconids, I have a burden to lay upon you. I grow concerned in fear that Sovereign Philo has contracted a sort of diseased spore, taking
Diseased
authority
spore.
he does not have to cordon off the eastern gardens of welcome.
This diseased spore, would this happen to be red in color, by any chance?
He doesn't know. He is speaking purely of behavior.
Mm-hmm.
At this point, I'm in range, and I'll just go. Is it because he's going faster than you are?
Some time ago, he began to change. His excitable nature is an aspect of my concern. But we Myconids do not have secrets. Our bonds share all. The Sovereign hides things.
Oh, booted me from the game. Nice. Alright. Well, that's not an issue.
The Sovereign hides something. I believe the Garden of Welcome may be the source. I fear to travel there lest I become infected. As a sign of friendship, and as his flesh fungus nature curls back, he holds out a small scroll and offers it to Rolen.
I will take it and kind of try to read it real quick.
I stuck it on the party sheet.
Okay.
And he says, "This was found by Rusharu on a dead softling. I am able to craft potions, though it takes some time. If you would be willing to explore and investigate this diseased spore, I would happily repay with potions and treasures we have learned the softlings appreciate that we have collected."
Well, I can't speak entirely for the group, but Would you guys like to help out, or
Hi.
if if you're in the conversation?
I think everybody except Kosjurkis was in and Smoke.
Okay.
I don't know what you're doing up there, Smoke. I just was.
Exploring.
He was
So
told, he was
there's
told
a
that
there's
we're
a
not allowed
wall
to
of
go to
there's
that
a
area.
wall of mushrooms right there, all the way across, extremely tightly packed. You can't
How-
see past it.
Okay.
They're touching, and they touch the cavern ceiling.
Oh.
Should have prepared speak with plants. Fuck.
Should have prepared speak with mushrooms specifically.
Yeah, speak with mushrooms. Only mushrooms.
So he says that you can think about it and discuss it, and he will finish the tour if you would like.
Yeah, wouldn't mind finishing the tour.
As Smoke approaches, are you staying stealthed or?
I would like try and get into like as close to the party as possible, and then yeah, just like nonchalantly, just like walk up and not say anything.
Fair enough. He doesn't seem to notice too much. He seems to notice you, but he doesn't seem to make too much of a big deal about it. He does, and Basidia introduces you, as I said, to Rasharu, the circle of explorers. They make trips outside, and they tend to side more with him, and they also express concern about many of the Myconids being more changed in personality. They are concerned about diseased spores. He says that his tribe, his circle leads more of a nomadic way of life, so he is less concerned than Basidia. He would be happy if he needed to take his circle and leave, but he is concerned. On the tour, he takes you here, and it is a mound, and he introduces you to a circle leader, Yerberop. He seems to be swaying to some type of music, but no one can hear it. He seems to just be swaying. One of the unusual things, at least, that you notice is Stool also communicates. He has communicated in the past. We've discussed it, but if you don't remember, that myconids only really reproduce one new myconid if one dies. The colony does not grow in size, and if they do decide to grow their colony in size, it's due to either an expansion of the area through a cave-in or an earthquake, and even then it takes them years to decide to do it. One of the things that catches you off guard is the circle, and Basidia introduces Yerberop as the circle of spores and the leader thereof. As you are looking, you see there are 11 new sprouted myconids that don't seem to be completely detached. They're still growing. He is just swaying in the other myconids. He does start to talk to you, Yerberop, and he starts to kind of explain the process as softers find it interesting. And about maybe 5 sentences in, he kind of trails off, loses focus, and starts swaying again, completely disconnecting.
Is this like similar to when they do their melding kind of ritual?
It doesn't seem to. It seems like your conversations with Stool and Basidia seem to have suggested that it's a pretty common thing for them to be able to hold long conversations. That seems to be what they do, is hold these long, open-minded communications for hours or days on end, and he seems to have lost track of this communication pretty quickly.
It's strange that it's a very different culture than Grekostag, yet similar type of ailments, no?
So Rolen and Agile Smoke as you guys are kind of communicating with Yerbarop, you do, with the spores as necessary for communication, you do notice that there are almost like an echo in the background of the rapport spores. The rapport spores are a ever-present, invasive yet not invasive, open-minded communication. It's almost like a hive brain akin to the Borg collective, but not in a controlling manner, in a communication manner. There are thoughts going on. It's like having 15 conversations with 15 different people while 100 people communicate around you. So it's really hard to kind of pick up on a lot of things, but your perception being extremely more heightened than others, you tend to pick up when you're interacting with your Barop something that you haven't picked up before, which was a faint echo in the very background behind the 15 conversations you're having, behind the 100 people talking around you. So it's extremely hard to hear, but it's almost like an internal cacophony echoing behind the conversations that are happening behind your conversations, if that gives you an idea of how hard it is to hear.
But there's something there.
But there's some echo of some cacophony back there.
Can we try to focus in on it, or
You can
just okay?
give me an actual investigation check.
Investigation. That's kind of sucks.
Wow.
So you're able to make out some words. Oh, it's almost like a lullaby. Agile smoke more than Rolen, but together, it's almost like a lullaby and echoing behind, almost like an undercurrent. And it refers to, you pick up the words great cedar, the pronoun her, the word wedding, and extreme joy to all below and above. It's very happy, lullabious, wedding music echoing in the very background.
What was the one guy's name again? It was B. Just the one that started with a B. It was
Basidia.
Basidia.
I'll ask you.
Yeah, sorry.
Basidia, do you hear this this lullaby?
He says that he is aware of it, but for fear of being infected as the other Myconids do or have been, he does not explore that deep into the rapport. He refers to the rapport as an actual place or location. He does not delve that deep with his consciousness. It is one of the things he is concerned about. He believes it emanates from the Garden of Welcome.
I say we go take a look.
I think we should also. Yeah, I also think we should take a look.
And the last stops on the once the Yerbarop circle of spores, and I'll post all of this on the game page so you guys can read it tonight and before the next game. The tour is up here. These two mounds, as you can see them. The only circle that doesn't have a dedicated mound is the Circle of the Explorers because, as I said, they're nomadic. They don't have their own specific spot. They just come and go. The northern terrace, as water trickles down in this area, you can see it has its own channels, and it's been cut for effective terraced irrigation. For these simple creatures, this whole area is very well irrigated up on the north. There's a thick, just musky, sweet smell that fills the air. And as you get up here, you see thousands of different fungus, different colors, sizes. Some have their own lights. I mean, these are funguses that you've never even seen. These are glowing funguses, and some are pulsating, some are moving. These are just alien of many different types. The circle of growers he takes you to, and he introduces you to Hibabi, the leader of the growers. and he is responsible for growing actual funguses that contribute to the various nutrients in the soil. And he takes quite a bit once you guys are established with the rapport spores, explaining that this fungus adds this to the soil, while this one takes this out in certain amounts, while the others put some back. And it doesn't take long for you to get lost around somewhere around the 50th explanation, and you can tell he's probably covered 2% of the ones that there are. So it seems to be an extremely complicated chemical balancing act to keep the soil at the point where the myconids can live. But when Basidia, seemingly intentional, brings up Philo in the Garden of Welcome, he seems to be not overly excited about it, but he doesn't really think it's a big deal. He thinks that keeping the soil nitrogenated and nutrient rich is more important than being concerned about the unusual behavior of one sovereign. So
We can definitely take a look into it for you.
And last introduction is the last member of the circle, and it is the Circle of Builders, and it's the topmost circle, and it is a myconid named Gaspide. And he is a pioneering engineer almost, and right away you can tell his behavior is more akin to Sovereign Philo. He is in the process of growing mushrooms to build monumental structures. He's talking, and as you connect with him, Gaspide begins to explain through the rapport spores elaborate structures and houses and auditoriums and just massive structures. And he begins to plague you with requests for descriptions of surface world structures, almost bristling with excitement and wanting, asking you guys to explain in very detailed and precise dimensions how many Zerkwood lumber logs would it take to build? How many long would it be? How many tall would it be? He says he expresses he dreams of building a fungal tower even greater than Yugmorcus, so great that it breaks through the Underdark to the surface world. With the aid of Aramicus, he begins to explain that he wants to basically build structures to rival the greatest structures on the surface and break through to show the glory of the myconid culture.
I can try to communicate some of my knowledge, but I don't have very vast amounts.
So anybody who's willing to, he will happily talk to you for hours or days because he doesn't sleep like you do.
Yeah, I won't
not
do that.
Maybe not just yet.
Yeah, we'll come back. We gotta rest. We're soft, fleshy. We need to rest.
And with that, Basidia returns you to the central basin and allows you to essentially choose any area that you desire to rest upon. And he thanks you for returning Stool, as well as being willing to consider the disease that is infesting their land.
Problem.
And with that, he slowly shuffles away, leaving you guys to discuss or choose to discuss as you see fit.
Is there any way that we can, wait until the spores are no longer in our brain?
You can terminate the conversation anytime you want.
Yeah, let's all disconnect.
Yeah, if that's like an option.
Let's all unjacked from the system.
I pulled the aux cord.
Yeah. So what do you guys think?
About what?
Well, other than you, I'll fill you in on what's going on. Disease, spores, something fishy going on to the east.
Mm-hmm.
A
Okay.
great cedar kind of thing. What do you think?
I don't like this. But then again, I don't really like much of anything, so, take that as you will.
It almost seems like somebody's kind of infecting and controlling a few of these myconids to an extent.
And again, we've kind of seen this before, no? A form of this?
Mm-hmm. Some kind of like almost madness or
Yes.
similar.
And they do not go good in Greco-Stug.
Mm-mm. If we can nip it in the bud, that'd definitely be best.
Doug was my home for the most part, and I'd like to make sure that no one else gets hurt by some form of trickery or deception or plague.
So
I
are
think-
we.
I think it's that simple. Yeah, no, Roland, I think it's that simple, no? It's either we do something or we leave right now.
Here's a picture of Basidia, just so you know.
Ooh,
Cool.
I wonder if the little
Neat.
mushrooms are like a part of, or like separate entities.
They're all one hive mind, so it doesn't matter.
No.
No, I'd say let's. Do we want to? If we wait till tomorrow, then the surprise happens, and we probably missed our opportunity. So I think we should kind of push on and go into the night. Personally, but
If nothing else, we can at least rest up and get some strength back.
pretty much at full strength now.
Yeah.
But I know what you're saying.
Yes, if we were to try and do something here, I say we do it now.
I would say we do it now too.
Yeah.
But is this our business? Is this something we get into?
Is Stool still with us, or did he take off?
He's still available if you want to talk to him, but he's not actively hanging around you at the moment.
I don't know. And we've become good friends with Stool. I think we should help his people out. Yes, Kosjurkis.
Yeah.
And remember the mushroom drow.
Yes.
The one that
Yeah.
was. Yes, I do.
I
He had
breathed
spores in his
him.
bed.
Breathe them in.
Dude, I almost forgot about that.
To be fair, we've also had
That's actually a good thing. I was letting you guys kind of discuss it, but as a side note, can I get a wisdom saving throw from Kosjurkis and Indomitable Spirit?
Oh shit.
Oh, bloody hell.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
As you guys are discussing, and you notice that both Kosjurkis and Indomitable Spirit both start swaying almost to identical music, but they don't seem to fade out. But they are swaying on their own.
Kosjurkis starts clicking quietly.
Okay, well, now this is affecting our own allies, so we definitely have to do something about it.
Yeah. The fuck are you doing?
You know.
Oh, they inhaled some
Do
other
I?
guy's brain spores at one point.
What a nonchalant way to say such a absolutely awful thing.
I think I'm glad I wasn't part of that conversation.
Do I notice? Does Kosjurkis notice himself doing this?
You don't, not unless someone puts it out. But if you'd like, I can see if I can pull up a picture of the brain spores there.
Yes.
See if I can find that for you.
Rolen has very calm demeanor about everything, so. Or tries to.
Here you go. This is what it looked like when he was hit. His head exploded in red spores, and they were close enough that they actually breathed him in.
Well, no, if you recall,
He got hit.
only Spirit was close enough to breathe them in, and she managed to not. And then Kosjurkis went and poked the head with a stick, and then
That is true. If I recall. That is true. He poked the head with a stick, which erupted another thing that got Spirit and Kosjurkis.
Yes.
Yeah.
For some reason I thought we cured that, but yeah. No.
Nope. We have never addressed it.
You've never attempted to cure it. There's been no
That's
effort
true.
to cure it.
Like, we have not
Oh
spoke...
no, I tried to do lesser restoration, but I don't think that worked.
Mm,
There are hints that it may not have worked.
I
Yeah.
think... yeah, namely this one.
Yeah.
It hasn't really been manifesting itself
Yeah,
too
like,
often.
No.
we haven't really talked about it since.
Yeah, it seems to have been dormant, but it seems to be
I guess
possibly
you could say
proximity based.
it's been in the back of my mind, get it?
Oh yeah, because I couldn't even detect if it was a disease or a poison, because I'm pretty sure I cast that at some point
Mhm.
too. Yeah. No, well, it's affecting you guys if they're still swaying. So we should probably do something about it. But maybe you two could stay here if you wanted.
Here, why? What's up? What's happening?
We're gonna try to fix your mind.
It's all good. It's fixed. It's good. Remember? Saw a demon. Wasn't scared. It's true.
Spirit just shakes her head and she's like, "Hey, do what you need to do."
Right,
With all,
gang.
let us say, I got hit with the mummy rod. I don't. At this point, I will not deny. I will not doubt if there's anything else fucking with my head.
Let's make our way east then, I guess.
These are actual like each square is 10 feet. If you're wondering why there are squares, so yeah, you guys can.
We may wish to speak to Basilia or one of the leaders here, because there's a wall of mushrooms in the way. I don't know.
Apparently, Philo sealed it off. So we might have to just force our way through. I don't know if Basidia will help us with that. I don't think he wants to go too far over that way. It's unfortunate though. If we did rest till tomorrow, I could maybe have something that would help us. But if we rest till tomorrow, it might be too late.
No, we should now. Yes.
Mhm.
Does anyone have a way to get around or through a mushroom wall without making noise?
Could burn them. Quiet.
Mhm. That's the only way I was thinking too.
Probably could dig.
Could maybe dig. I could try freezing them instead of burning them. That might wither them.
Well, whatever we do, it's
Could eat them.
let's go take a look. Yes.
Let's go take a look. Let's see what kind they are first.
They are Zerkwood mushrooms, massive, towering Zerkwood mushrooms that are as hard as trees.
Can't eat these.
Nope, can't eat them, but we can definitely burn them or force our way through by chopping them down. But that would make noise.
Fire sword. Yes.
Is it actual fire or
I don't know. Maybe.
Spirit? Is it actual fire? Even you long rested with it, so you should be fine now.
He is attuned to it, and he can use it. So Dawnbringer its blade is radiant magic. It emits bright light within 15 feet, and it is
sunlight.
Yes, it is sunlight, not just regular light. So you can adjust the size of it. As far as the actual blade, I mean, it is radiant damage, not slashing damage. So yeah, I mean, it's essentially burning light. It's a lightsaber. It's not plasma. It's not as hot. It's not gonna melt
Yeah.
through things, but it is radiant damage.
Well, have at her, Spirit, if you think you can do something about this. Try to cut a small path, though, if you can.
I think
All
maybe
right.
while he's
I don't know
attempting.
if he's...
Yeah.
Can't hear him at all.
We can't hear you, Spirit, if you're talking.
Oh, one of those situations where, damn it, I thought I had my freaking thing unmuted again. God damn it. So I basically hold the thing out in front of me, and I'm like, Dawnbringer to me, or something stupid like that, and just start hacking away, I guess.
As soon as the blade springs forth, Kosjurkis starts screaming and runs away. It is too bright for his wee eyes.
Yeah. You
Yeah.
have
Mechanically, sunlight sensitivity.
Yep.
Yep. Same.
Rush over Kosjurkis. Just kind
Too
of
bright. Too bright.
if I have, I don't know if I have anything like it, but probably just something to like cover his head.
He's like got his hands over his eyes.
Yeah.
So after a few minutes of chopping, you get through and create. How big a hole are you making? You let me know.
At least a hole big enough for a medium-sized creature to slip through.
So okay, so one hole big enough for one medium-sized creature at a time.
Yes. Like
Okay.
at least one of us to get through.
Fair enough. And of course, you can look through it, and unmasking notwithstanding, it will be with you momentarily. We
Put
will
like my shirt over top of Kosjurkis' head and like lead him back.
He can control the brightness of that sword.
Okay.
I
When he
turn it
first
down.
hacked,
Yeah.
it's
Is
a,
that? Go ahead.
Let's see. The braid persists. You can use an action to expand or reduce its radius of bright and dim light by 5 feet each to a maximum of 30, a minimum of 10 feet around you. So just let's all keep in mind that in a 10 feet around like this is bright light that Dronga
That's the fuck up.
Yeah.
and Kosjurkis are not doing well too. So let's see. Is this where you were cutting? I'll move it to where you want. Where do you want your door?
Yeah, that'll work.
This 5 foot.
Yeah.
There you go. Your 5 foot door you've sliced through. Okay, so as you cut through, you step into the Garden of Welcome as you guys, or take a look into the Garden of Welcome. As you peek through, you see a massive mushroom, not just large mushrooms stacked on top of large mushrooms like you saw in the Neverlight Grove area. Back here, you see just a fluorescent purple, massive mushroom releasing clouds upon clouds of spores. And you can look down at the bottom of that image and you can see the mushrooms that are the same size as the ones out in Neverlight Grove. You would stand maybe, if you look down at the bottom, you would stand maybe 1/10 the size of one of the small mushrooms, and you can use that as a size comparison
Oh shit.
with Yugamorgus. That is hundreds or thousands of feet tall is the mushroom you see.
And is there actually like a river coming off of it, or is that just more
Yes, there
for
is.
effect? Okay,
Nope,
cool.
it is. There are rivers. So as you take a look there, you notice that the low muttering grows as you cut through the wall, the sound wall there. And as you reach the top here, this right where you're standing, where those mushrooms are, that wall of mushrooms is the top of a rise, and then it starts to descend as you saw. The murmuring, as Indomitable Spirit steps through, turns into a symphony of moans, cries, and hisses. The only light comes from the few glowing mushrooms in addition to the purple radiance. And even in the gloom, you cannot miss the source of the sounds. The heads of dozens of humanoid creatures of every Underdark race pop and peer out of the ground. They seem to have been buried up to their necks. Mold and fungus is growing around them. They are moaning. Most are unconscious. It seems to be growing. The fungus seems to be growing into and out of their flesh. One voice calls
I
out
don't like
loudly
this. I don't like this.
in an uncommon. One voice calls out above the moaning in the language of uncommon. It is a female drow fighter, and she calls out, "Please, for your gods of light, or Loth herself kill me." She seems to stir out of her living grave, rising a spider medallion half embedded in the bloody growth that was once her hand, as it has multiple fungal growths coming out of it. It's bloated. Half of her face is rotted off. You can see her skull, and it isn't just sloughing off like flesh. It's pulsating, a bed for scores of tiny little mushrooms. And she mutters, "The great cedar trap. She's here. The Lady of Decay. Zuchtmoy." And as she says that, she seems to drift off into unconscious. Anyone who has proficiency in religion can make a check. If you don't have proficiency, you cannot. You have to look on your skills tab to see if you
that
have
is not my school of thought.
Nice.
Shit.
Natural 20. Hell yeah.
Okay.
That's one way to do it. So, I will give information. The area, Zuchtmoy. Let me pull up this background information. Since you got a natural 20, there's no reason why you can't get more. Now, I'll even give you a good description. Zuchtmoy, in your religious knowledge and training, Queen Ophelia, you learned that she is known as the Demon Queen of Fungus, the Lady of Rot and Decay. She is a demon. She lives in the abyss, and she is an extremely alien creature whose goal is to infect all living things with spores, transforming them into her own servants, and eventually into decomposing hosts for mold and mushroom and the fungus that she is made up of. She isn't like most demons, where she's an actual creature. For those of you who don't know, since she got a nat 20, I'm going to give you as much as you can get. Demons are actually former souls. Demons are a soul that has gone to the abyss, and it comes out as a small demon. And essentially, once you go, a mortal soul in the abyss will become a demon. And as demons gather more soul energy through killing other creatures and absorbing theirs, they evolve into other demons. Every demon you see started out as a human soul that was corrupted and then started out as a lemure demon and grew and grew and grew. And that's where demons come from. Zuchtmoy is not like that. Zuchtmoy is an alien, inhuman mold of her fungal form into the approximation of a skeletal figure. She's depicted in grimoires and ancient art, draped in veiled mycelium and lichen. Her appearance is so much in manner that her servants have described it as a mockery of human life. She is made completely of fungus. So there's a lot of other general information about Zuckmoy, such as on her layer of the abyss is shared with another demon lord called Juiblex, who is the demon lord of Fungus or of oozes, and they are there. You go. She is vicious and alien, and even with most demons, you can understand their mindset, but she is so alien that she is almost beyond the understanding of the gods. Now that, as the young drow fades off, you guys can decide to leave her, but she begged for you to kill her. Her body is buried up to her head here. And she's not the only one. There's many.
As long as I see that nobody has an issue with it, quietly walk up, put my hand on my forehead, say, "May you rest in peace." Take my battle axe. We'll wait.
Fair enough.
I have no problem with that.
I have no problem with that either.
As you kill her, she lets out almost a sigh of escape. And as you, with your passive perception there, Dronga, since you're actually close enough, although you're, let me drop you over
I
here. Okay,
pass 9.
it's 12. You got to pass. It looks like 12.
Oh.
Should be. Yeah, it's you get to add your proficiency
Okay.
for passive. Anyways. So you do notice that there is a pile of equipment. She was apparently stripped of all her stuff, and it was thrown in a pile before she was buried up to her neck.
What's in her stuff? Does she have any relics or?
She has, taking a look, you see a very well-made drow short sword, extremely well-made and well-crafted drow armor, a magical bag, rations, chainmail, things of that nature. I'm going to, assuming, do you want to dig through it, or do you just want to pick it all up and I'll put it on the sheet? What's your preference?
I was hoping to dig through it and see if she had like a necklace or any like religious things that she would have worn on her person.
She had a drow medallion around her neck.
I'd put it on the forehead of the head.
Fair enough. The moans in the garden take on a new tone. A tone of fear as something across the ground erupts around you.
Uh-oh.
A disgusting, larval, fungal creature that seems to be a combination of slug and myconid rises before you.
Uh-oh.
Shit.
It seems to show only vestigial fungal growths that hint it was once a myconid. In a gurgling voice, it says, "Welcome, travelers." The aberrant myconid's voice gurgles and spits as it speaks both aloud and in your mind, seemingly having vocal cords. Are you here for the wedding rehearsal? Friends of the bride or her intended? No matter. Let the love of the great cedar embrace you as you become one with her chosen and the great body you will nourish. And as the garden comes alive with screams, he attacks.
Fair dinkum.
Yep.
We will wait to roll initiative on Yestabrew as he attacks you.
Oh, brilliant.
All right.
Sounds good.
All right.
Holy
As
shit.
for, I don't know the next game we're gonna have just because. So I have to go downstairs and actually look at my work schedule. I work 5 days on, 5 days off, so it's really kind of wonky. I'm gonna have to see when it is we work, and then Tasha works on call. and we have the kids. So it's best just to not plan, so I don't tell you guys we can play next week and then have to change it. I don't want to do that to you guys.
Oh, fair enough.
Worries.
So here is supposedly a user-created picture of Yestabrood in Discord.
Ew. Oh,
That's fine.
Yep.
Let's see.
It's all good.
Oh, nice.
But we will pick up there as Ophelia tries her damnedest to run away. Let's wait to roll initiative. I'll go down and take a look at that and see what we can pull off, and I'll let you guys know. Ben, remind me to ask you about something that I saw,
Yeah.
and I just didn't want to interrupt the game. That's really all I need. Hope you guys had fun as
All
we
right.
start to pick up the speed of the main story, and you guys get attacked in a garden of decaying heads.
All right.
We need oil. We need lots of oil.
Kill it with
We're-
fire.
We're gonna burn this motherfucker to the ground.
Fire and cold. Fire and cold.
Take it easy, guys.
All right,
Later.
guys.
Yep.
Bye.
Talk
Oh,
later.
yeah.
Good game.